Hello, I'm about to introduce to you Myte. Myte is your AI agent that operates your computer. And to show you an example of what Myte can do, we built a product called Myte Social, which operates your social media platforms. We have this built now for Facebook and soon to come LinkedIn. And we're about to show you how you install this on your system and get it set up from scratch. You navigate to mytegroup.com/mytesocial, and you'll get to our landing page, which describes to you the features, what's unique about it, the fact that it runs locally, the data is stored locally, it's undetectable automation for your social media platforms. It uses your mouse and keyboard. It really mimics your behavior on your system. It uses generative and vision models in order to manipulate your computer and perform intelligent tasks. It automates your Facebook messaging so you can do your initial and follow-up messages, personalized messages to your instructions as if you were doing it. Gathers the data all locally on your system for your personal use. So this is first-party data you already have access to. You're using it with your personal AI system. This data is not aggregated, is not sent to a cloud or a server. Everything happens locally on your machine. The only thing we check is your email and password that you use to register with us and your subscription status. That is it. Comprehensive social media management, so you'll get to see your contacts. You can put them onto ignore lists, view their profile information. You can customize this and tweak the instructions to your liking. And we use the AI as well to put everything into context to craft the personalized messages to improve your engagement rates significantly. It's a trusted solution. I mean, I'm Ahmed, I'm the creator. My address and everything is located on my website. There is no malicious intent behind this locally run system. Why use Myte Social? Will you ensure your data privacy? Everything is local. You're not sharing your contacts or your strategies or your messages or anything with anyone other than yourself and your personal AI system. AI-guided computer operations. Myte can be used for any computer operation, but we are going to be using this specifically now for Facebook to show you the example. And of course, if you are inspired by other possibilities, let us know and we will gladly oblige. Of course, saves time and increases engagement, so you don't have to spend hours a week sending initial messages to contacts that will probably not even respond. So at least now you'll be engaging with warmed up people who are initially interested by what you have to say, and you communicate with them. And the possibilities this provides and the networking this allows you to do is incredible. I mean, social media is the public square today. Leveraging that power in a streamlined, organized way is super beneficial for everyone, including your contacts. So you can go and set up, you can begin the experience here. So if you click here, you will need to register your account. So I'll start by registering my account. I'll sign up. Ahmed, my password, go sign up. So you'll be receiving a message like this in your inbox from myself, from my Gmail account. Just click the link to verify, and now you're verified. So when you're verified, you'll gain access to the subscription page. So you're going to click on Start Trial or in testing phase. So you'll get this for free. Don't worry about it. Just click Start Trial. And then you're going to input that credit card that I'll give you, input any month, any year, any CSV, any name, any postal code. And once this is processed, you are now subscribed, you're redirected. Now you gain access to package and backup. So you click on package and backup and you click download for Windows OS. There you go. Now the file is going to download and appear into your download files. Okay, let me open this like this. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's close that. The file looks like this: Myte Social Windows 1.0 setup. Double click on this. You're going to get Windows protected your PC. This is a normal message. It's because we haven't signed it yet. But I am the publisher, Ahmed Miklas, located at 9215 Rue de Villiers. Don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with the software, and I am personally accountable for all of it. So don't worry. Just click run anyway. In the future, we will be signing this, and in this way, we'll bypass this Windows protected your PC step. Click run anyway. It'll set up the system onto your computer. Boom. So once it's on your desktop, you're going to double click on it. It might take some time before it opens, about 30 seconds or so. Just be patient. It's doing the initial setup on your system. There you go. You're going to type in the email that you use to register and the password you use to register as well. Now, the first step that happens once you gain access to your dashboard is you'll be prompted with the initial setup. To start, just ensure you have Google Chrome at the bottom of your toolbar here. If you don't, click and drag it in. Once you do have it, before clicking OK, just open it. Ensure that it's opening on your main screen. Go into your profile, ensure you have Facebook icon or the Facebook shortcut in your tabs here. And if you don't, then go to Facebook, facebook.com and click the little star here to add it. And then place it here, and then you'll just need to click on that to get to it. Make sure you're logged into Facebook. Our system does not collect your email or password of Facebook to operate it. So you need to already be logged in, okay? Once that's done, click X and close this window. And now you can click OK. This window can be moved, by the way. You can place this wherever you want. You can click OK. Then an instruction window will keep appearing on the left over here telling you what to do next. So just read along and follow along this video. So I suggest you just go through the whole flow with me here, restart the video and do it step by step just to make sure you get this right. In the future, we'll put it to be a bit more user-friendly so you can actually go back in case you do a mistake. But currently, if you did do a mistake, just click, finish the flow, end it, and then I'll show you how to restart it on your profile by clicking on the little profile circle over here on the top right. In here, you'll have an option to refresh coordinates and you can restart the process as many times as you want through there, okay? So here now you're going to click F4, you're going to hold F4 and left click on the Google Chrome icon in the toolbar. You're going to hold F4 and maximize. Now, if you don't have more than one profile, then you don't need to do this step. In this case, just follow along and you'll see what you need to do at this step. For those of you who do have multiple profiles, you're going to hold F4 and maximize the window. Hold F4 and click on your preferred profile. Now here, for those of you who don't have the profile, so that opens directly here, you can actually click on the empty space, F4, and click on empty space for those two steps. And then let's follow along all together. F4 and click on the browser URL area. F4 and click on the Facebook shortcut, right? Make sure you're not holding F4 on clicks that aren't to capture the instruction or aren't to capture the, you can click as many times as you want everywhere. You can even operate your computer, leave, go back. But as long as you don't click F4, it sticks to that step, okay? So make sure you're not clicking F4 when it's not required to do so, only to collect the instructions. So here it says, hold F4 and left click friends. So I'm gonna hold F4 and left click on friends. Hold F4 and left click on all friends. All friends is here on the left. If you're using a French browser, it's the French equivalent. And hold F4 and right click on next to the number of friends here, just right click here with F4 pressed. And then with F4 pressed, left click on inspect. With F4 pressed, left click on the space that opens here. Scroll to the top and F4 and click on the first text that you see on the top here that highlights your whole screen. So F4 and click. Then F4 and click to close this new window that appeared here. So F4 and click on the little X on the top. If it didn't close right, F4 and click on another X to make it close. If it did close, F4 and click on empty space like it is for my case because it closed on the first time. Now you're going to F-click, you're going to navigate to a friend, go into search Facebook, go to any friend, go to their main profile. And over here, you're going to click F4, hold left click and draw a rectangle over the message button. We're capturing an image of that button. So F4, click and drag and let go. We now have an image of that, okay? If you click and drag without holding F4, there's no screenshot that will be taken. So you need to hold F4, click and drag to capture the screenshot. Now you're going to hold F4 and click the blue message button. You're going to hold F4 and click into the message input field. You're going to hold F4 and click onto the closed chat. Right. Now, when you click on the closed chat without pressing F4, let go of F4, you're going to reopen the message box. Now you're going to press F4 and click on the name on the top of the chat bar. Here, you're going to take a screenshot of Open in Messenger, but make sure that you're taking a screenshot of Open in Messenger without the highlight. So you're going to navigate your cursor to the top left where the highlight disappears. Hold F4, click, drag. Now the highlight appears. Lower your cursor without lifting a finger. Don't lift F4 and don't lift the left click until the highlight disappears here, and you want to capture Open in Messenger. So right here, you're going to let go. So it captures Open in Messenger without the highlight. F4 and click Open in Messenger. F4 and click, we're almost done, guys. F4 and click the input field. F4 and click Messenger, the notification bell. F4 and click the three dots. So click on the center of the three dots here. F4 and click, and then F4 and click mark all as read. That's it. Once this setup is done, it's the only time you need to do this. It's a one-time setup until there are significant changes to the user interface of Facebook, which will probably end up happening. It'll take us maybe a couple of hours to update the software. will push the updated software to you. You'll have to redo that initial setup by going to your profile here and clicking refresh coordinates. So if you click on this, you will restart that process we just did. So you can do it as many times as you want. Take your time. Once you have it done a few times, it'll be easy peasy for you in the future. It'll be in your memory. You won't have to worry about that. The last setup that you need to do is your settings. In your settings, you're going to start by saying how many messages you want to send every time you click start message. So every time you tell Myte, hey, go send messages, how many initial messages and how many follow-up messages do you want it to send? We suggest 15 initial messages, 10 follow-up messages for a total of 25 messages a day. If you don't want to be flagged by Facebook, spamming, etc., you probably won't be because of the nature of the messages you're sending. Everything is personalized. Everything is different from person to person. It's not templated messages, but we still suggest you keep it to 15, 10, just to organically grow your outreach and not get flagged by Facebook for any reason, okay? Restricted keywords. You're able to input keywords here of any type of word that you want Myte to ignore if a profile contains that word. So if a profile contains, let's say, the word Tupperware in my case, the profile will be placed on their ignore list, and I'll show you that later on. What should Myte look for in profiles? So when Myte is on the profile, you instruct it here what to look out for. I'm going to add here, for example, come up with 3 engaging questions different from one another I can use to start to engage the contact. How should Myte write a personalized message? So here you're going to instruct it, how do you want it to write your personalized message? How would you tell someone you hire to write your personalized messages to your contacts? What's the objective? What's the content structure? What's the tone and language that you want to use? What kind of engagement prompt do you want at the end? Call to action. Do you want to set up a meeting right away, or do you want to just ask a question? And here's for the follow-up message. The strategy of the follow-up message. You have the conversation history, you have the profile information. So in here, you'll instruct them, knowing you have that information, what do you want Myte to do for the follow-up message? So say, now your setting is done. Now you're at the step of collecting the profiles. That's the first thing you got to do. So you're going to click on the button here. Make sure all your browsers are closed. That's number 1. If all your browsers are closed, now you're going to click on Start Syncing Contact. And it's going to go to work for you. It's going to go navigate to your Facebook using the coordinates that we've collected to teach Myte where to go. And then from there, it's going to extract your first level contacts and structure it where you'll be then able to proceed with the next steps. And I'll show you that for now. So we'll let this run. It takes about 5 minutes. Don't worry if you see that it's like stalled or nothing's happening. Just let it run. If it gets to the bottom of the list, it could just stay there. It could look like it's not doing anything, but it is. It's just the back-end logic. That's how it's being done right now. You just wait, be patient, and then it's going to finish the step, close your browser, and display you the contacts on the dashboard. And that's when you know the system has finished. Yeah, so when it does get to the end of the message list like it is now, if you want to confirm that it's still working, okay, you can scroll up and you're going to see it's going to keep scrolling down. So you know it's working. Don't move your mouse away from this as it is scrolling down. Okay, so keep the cursor here and let it do its thing. Okay, cool. We are done. So now you have your list of contacts on your dashboard. So you want to make sure you ignore some people that you don't want to be sending messages to right off the bat. So for example, I don't want to send messages to certain members of my family, so I can put them onto the ignore list. You also want to scroll through your contacts and make sure there's no weird contacts. It should just be their names. It'll always be towards the end. But if you do see really long names, just put them into the ignore. It did not happen this time, so that's great. So scroll through this, put them into the ignore list. When you click onto a profile right now, it's going to show a little error, contact details not generated. The contact details are only generated when you begin the messaging process. Okay, so now we're going to give this a little test. Right now, we're sending 1 icebreaker message and 1 follow-up message. For the testing purposes, if you're right now using this as a tester, you'll be sending follow-up messages right away. Okay, so if you don't want to send any follow-up messages, just put this to 0. If you want to test your follow-up message, put it to 1, and it's going to send to the same person you just sent. So we're going to go to messages now. And to begin the messaging process, click into messages and click start sending message. And like the fetching of contacts, now you can just let it run. So we're going to witness the example. I'll walk you through what the system is doing. When you increase the number, of course, you won't sit in front of your computer and watch it work. You can go do something else. So here, what it does, it navigates to the first profile that hasn't had an initial message sent. It'll validate whether we're correctly on the profile. So it'll look at your screen and see, are we on a profile that matches the profile information that we should be on? If it's a yes, it'll proceed with looking through the profile. So like you would, scrolling through, and it's scrolling through, looking at it. It's seeing what's being posted. It's understanding its interests, understanding what's happening on this profile. Okay. And once it's done doing that, it's going to create the user details. Those user details are then going to be displayed on the front end as well. So I'll show you how to go and look at that as well. It provides great insights in a way that is clear, concise, and maybe might generate some ideas on your end on this person or on this contact that you have. Okay. Once that user detail is generated, it's going to generate the initial message per your instructions. And then it's going to scroll up like it just did now and navigate to the message button and begin sending the initial message. So in this case, I've been testing it a lot on this friend over here, Alex Aquila. Thank you very much, man, for going through this with me. And here, because it's a general message that we did of starting a conversation, I noticed you recently celebrated a wedding. What was the most memorable moment from your special day? Your photos from various events look fantastic. Do you have any tips for capturing great moments at social gatherings? Looking forward to hearing from you. Best, Ahmed from Myte. So it listens to what you told it to do. So that's what I had told it to do. Just initiate a conversation based on the user's interest. Now we'll navigate back to this person because we put 1-on-1 when we're in testing phase, so it does it right away. In the future, there'll be a timeline. So you'll be able to say, hey, give him 24 hours. So before going through this process of writing the follow-up message, it's going to first check, has it been X amount of time since we sent the initial message? And if it has, then it will proceed to do what you're seeing here. If it hasn't, it will skip it until it reaches someone that is the case. Or if it doesn't, it'll just end the process and not send any follow-up messages. When it's here, it's capturing now the conversation history. And so based on that conversation history, there's the follow-up logic that comes into play. If it detects that there has been back and forths since your initial message, it will not send a follow-up message. If it detects that the user did respond, but you haven't responded yet, it will send a follow-up message using the context of the user's response. And if it detects that the user hasn't responded yet, it will also send a follow-up message. And you can put that logic into your instructions, what to do when the user responded negatively, what to do when the user responded positively, what to do when the user did not respond. So in this case, you'll have different contexts for those different situations. You can put that all into that field and instruct it just like you would. Boom, we're done. The messages have been sent. You'll be able to view the messages sent by clicking into the messages. It'll be a list of all the messages. You'll see 2 names for the initial message and the follow-up message. When you click on it, you'll see the history. And in this case, since he hasn't responded, all we see is our initial message and the follow-up message that we sent and when we sent it. If they did respond, you would see the response in between the two. So you have full context, and we can use this context in future campaigns to keep all this in memory as we interact with our contacts into the future. Now, when you navigate back to your contacts in the attempted tab, you'll see the list of contacts where you attempted to send messages to. And these files, you can click into it and you'll actually see the profile details or user details that were analyzed. And in this case, we have some general information. And this is the information you told the system to collect, if it's available. Its interests, its hobbies, social network, recent activities, core insights, and some engaging questions to help guide the AI system if you wanted to ask questions, if you wanted to engage. So obviously, the profile analysis feeds into your message creation. So you have to think of, before writing a message to someone, I need to look at their profile. I need to get an understanding of them. You don't want to be sending these templated messages that aren't personal. So if you were to personalize your messages, how would you do it? What kind of information would you like to know that is available on Facebook profiles generally? Obviously on LinkedIn, we get a lot more information. So this system is coming to LinkedIn soon. And then we will be figuring out a way to combining information from LinkedIn and Facebook to create a common database where you have full context on the Facebook profile, which is their more personal posts, and their LinkedIn profile, which is more of their professional posts, all under one database. So you can interact with them with full context, including their professional life. Possibilities grow even further from that point on. So this is the systems. This is Myte, and this is just an example. Right now we're operating social media platforms, but Myte can be used to operate any platform. And I'll be showing you some other interesting workflows with AI, generative AI specifically within systems, to help streamline your workflow in a great way. Just look at how long would this have taken you to do it. So that's it. Welcome to the future. Rock and roll.